So hopefully anyone who doesn't make it into the Zoom room can get up there on YouTube. Who do we have here? London, Toronto, BC. Wow. More London. Yep, we've got people from pretty much everywhere. Jackie's back. I recognize you from last time. How are you? Actually, I see a few people here that I recognize. How are you all? Hope you're doing well. When you guys watched the training for today from Google, did that bring up any questions? Bay Area and Brussels. Yeah, hey, Jackie. One thing I should do before we start is give you all the Google Drive here. That would help. Google Drive. Oh, fantastic. Now what? I'm having trouble pasting in here. Why is that? Okay, not sure what's going on here. I'm the host. Can someone else try and see if they can paste something into the chat? This is pretty weird. No, I can paste other people's stuff. Okay, then what's happening is that what I thought got copied did not get copied. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay. Here's the Google Drive link. This is not the first class, Varun. This is class number 3. The first 2 are already done. We're doing 1 class a week for 7 weeks. And the replays are all on YouTube. If you just go to the channel and look at the live streams, it's there. Okay, so are you all able to get into the Google Drive and you're seeing courses 1, 2, and 3 in there? I'll add course 4 today so that you guys can prepare for next week by watching the video and, just getting a head start on it. And I'm just going to drop this into YouTube as well so that folks there have a chance to watch it and participate. Now what's going on? Okay, there we go. Pen the message. Yeah. All right, so back to today. All right, so no questions at all. Where do we find the Google Drive? It's right here. Google Drive. I dropped it in the chat, but I'll drop it in one more time. And for the rest of this chat, can someone else take over dropping the Google Drive in the chat every time someone asks for it? Recordings of previous sessions are on our YouTube channel. And that again, oh, sorry, typoed that. Needs 2 slashes, otherwise it doesn't think it's a URL. Okay, so if you have no more questions, yeah, I just pointed you to the streams, Varun, so you can see that there. There's a bunch of live streams. Just look for the ones that say course 1, course 2, course 3. And now, since you guys don't seem to have any questions about the homework, does that mean anyone did the homework? drop a 1 in the chat if you actually watched today's official Google video. Awesome, Jackie. And I don't know why it goes there. I wanted it to go to this one, where we are going to do course 3 today. Awesome. So one person has done the homework, which means it's a good thing my presentation actually briefly covers what we're talking. Awesome, Michael. Thank you. It's not essential that you watch the courses before you come in because I will do a quick overview, but it just gives you a good grounding. On the other hand, I understand we're all busy people. We've got jobs, we've got life. Abhijit, that's great. Where did you enroll? And Akib, yes, you can get the certificate. You can get it for free, but I would suggest waiting until after we finish the 7 weeks so that you've already got all the practice you need, and then you can do the certificate for free in the 7-day time frame. Okay, so I'm going to assume there's no more questions about that. All right, so this is what we're going to do today, right? We're still planning, we're going forward with the same story. We've got a business that is doing an onboarding, that does onboarding for new hires, and we're revamping it. And today I'm actually going to try to take it slow. Tell me if I'm going too fast for you, because we have 90 minutes and this presentation was intended to be just, 1 hour. So we're going to do deep research, which means we do need a Google AI Pro membership. If you don't have one, it's easy enough. You can, any Gmail account that you haven't used your free trial, you can go ahead and use it there. Or if you've already used it up and you don't have another Gmail account, I think you can do Coursera, or go to Coursera for a 7-day free trial of Coursera, which then gives you a 90-day free trial of Google AI Pro. Anyway, back to the topic. We are going to be doing deep research. We're going to go back into NotebookLM. We're going to build a gem, and that's pretty much it for today. So 3 big things, and lots of time for questions. So I'm going to try and take it slower, because one person did comment last time that giving you guys canned prompts isn't always helpful, especially for someone who's already experienced. So I'm going to try to remember. Please remind me to slow down and, let you guys come up with your own prompts and use those. This is a very beginner course, which is why I'm defaulting, just like Google did in their training, to giving you the prompts as opposed to telling you to think and create a prompt. Anyway, going forward, the core concept is, how is research different from just brainstorming? Any ideas? What's your understanding of the difference? Drop it in the chat. I'm assuming you've all done brainstorming sessions with your colleagues, your friends. Even if you're just going on a trip or going to see a movie, you do brainstorming, right? You kind of go, hey, who wants to see what? And why? Research is supported by evidence. Absolutely. Anyone else? Specific, where you're exploring a subject to create learning outcomes. Yes, Jackie, for sure. And people on YouTube, please also feel free to respond there. I'm watching that as well. Research is longer and more thoughtful. Yeah, brainstorming can include wild ideas. Yeah, I will warn you though, research can also come up with wild ideas. It's on you to check and make sure that what you're finding is the truth. But to me, the fundamental difference is that brainstorming is when we all discuss ideas. Research happens after the brainstorming, where we go, hey, we've picked 1 or 2 ideas. Now let's research and, build them out stronger. Does that resonate with anyone? Research gives us the practical details for whatever it is we want to do. With the movie example, everybody suggests ideas. You kind of can't quite pick. Then you do the research and kind of go, okay, is this the movie to watch? maybe it's a sci-fi, nobody likes sci-fi, you want to watch action, you go do that instead. Deep research is actually available, I think, in all of the LLMs. It is simply a way of telling AI, I don't just want your canned answer. I want you to go out and search the web and bring me back details of the latest research. So, back to my presentation, instead of what we used to do, which is open up a zillion tabs on your browser and go look at it, each tab, evaluate it manually, which is mentally exhausting because you've got to get all of that information and then you make a report from it. Now you simply tell AI, hey, I need this. I need deep research on this topic. Go find it. It brings you back the sources and then you verify and decide. And in order to do that, we're going to look at three different distinct jobs. One is the deep research itself. Then is NotebookLM, which actually summarizes that deep research. And then the gems are basically the equivalent. If you've used custom GPTs in ChatGPT, gems is pretty much the same thing. But of course, remember that you are the human in the loop. You do not abdicate your responsibility to verify the sources. You make your own final argument and make the final call. AI is just gathering the stuff for you. It can't do the thinking for you because it doesn't know what your background knowledge is. It doesn't know your company. It doesn't know your business. It doesn't know your brain. Amrit is asking, are the sources used in deep deep research verifiable? It gives you the sources, you click and go find out. Yeah. Just checking to see if we have questions on YouTube. We don't. Okay. All right. So the first module, of course, obviously, since I've been talking about it, is deep research. Now, how many people here do have the pro version or, any paid plan or a free trial of a paid plan? Just drop a 1 in the chat. Okay, Jackie, great. James, drop your question in the chat, please. We're not doing verbal. Jenny's got one. Okay. So this is going to be a little bit of a challenge for those who don't have it because we do need it. You don't need it right now to watch us do it. And you can actually, I'll show you how, use a NotebookLM as a kind of lighter version of deep research. So now all we're going to do is give Gemini a topic and review the plan. It'll give you an idea of what it's going to look for, and then you get a cited report, including citations. So yes, you can go verify those citations. And then we're going to turn it into an infographic. All pretty easy. Okay. So again, if you look in the drive, I've tried to put all the prompts in there. So in the drive, if you look at course 3, you'll see the lab prompts. And that's where it tells you what to do. So the setup is we want real data on what's working. We don't just want the brainstormed ideas that we had. And so let's just go click on Gemini. And when the prompt or the presentation says click on tools, deep research, what it actually means is you're going to click on, where to go? On this thing. Tools is this little plus here, and you'll see here. Excuse me, I have Pro. Why am I not seeing deep research? Okay, this is annoying. Help. Well, that was fun. There's deep research. I could have sworn it was here yesterday. Jackie or anyone else who's got deep research, can you tell me where you're finding it now? Great, would you? No, not in the mobile app. Ah, that's not it either. No. Melissa, are you in the EU by any chance? Because I am not seeing it. Ah, okay. So this is what it is. It's only in the Pro Extended. I have no idea why it can't just know that I'm in Pro and using that, but here it is. No, not Canvas. Not Canvas. More tools. Under more tools, deep research. You have the free version. Yeah. Okay. EU and UK, you get that in your free version. For the rest of the world, or at least for Canada, I don't have it in the free version, so I get it in here. So this is the idea. We'll go into there later. I don't actually want deep research at this particular step. Okay, get rid of Canva. All right. What I'm going to do is go back to our thing. And the setup here is I'm planning it. Again, this is something that's pre-done for you. It's a canned prompt, but you can take this whatever direction you have, anything that you want to do deep research on. Maybe it's the best way to pack light for a trip. Maybe it is what's the best way to make sure that people show up to my meetings, or stick to the agenda at my meetings. Or, what's the best way to give feedback to an employee who's not meeting the requirements. So that's it. I'm just going to put in the prompt that I'd already done, and I'm going to send that to you guys here and also on YouTube. That's the deep research prompt. And let's run it. And guys, if you have questions, feel free to ask because we're going slow today. At least I'm trying to go slow. I unfortunately have the habit of getting very focused and keeping on diving deeper into what I'm doing. So I do need you to pull me out. Okay, and for those who don't have the Pro version, what you can do, I'm going to create a new notebook for that. Gemini. Actually, no, what I want is not Gemini, it is NotebookLM. It's not Gemini Notebooks. Fine. And look at that, they've got so many pre-done. Lovely. But I want to create a new one. And in here, if you notice, there's also a deep research. There's fast research and there's deep research, in-depth reports. And this should be available on the free tier as well. So go ahead and paste in the exact same prompt in there and let it run. Deep research is literally just going deeper. That's all. You're telling it, I want you to do more search. I want you to think more. I want you to expand your search and give me the results. It's like using a different model in any of the apps, right? The basic model is okay. The free tier model is fine. But if you go to a higher tier, you get better responses. Same sort of thing. Amrit, it depends where in the world you are. So if you've got deep research, fantastic. You can ignore my entire spiel about it. In US, okay, then it's just Canada that doesn't have it. Wonderful. Actually, is it Canada that doesn't have it? I'm going to go in here and look at my Gemini there. Now I'm wondering if it was simply that I didn't choose the most Pro. I went to Pro. And in Pro, do I have? No, I don't. I don't have Deep Research. Okay, so it is definitely not available in Canada at the basic tier. It is actually still available, though, in the NotebookLM. So yeah, it just depends on where you are in the world. So what are the responses you're getting? Is it good? Is it not good? Take a look at it. And it's giving me a whole bunch of answers. What kind of questions did you ask? Did you stick with the canned prompt, or did you do your own? So for example, I can go here. Teaching a study group for the Google AI certificate. Like literally what we're doing right now. Can you tell me some ways that instructors are keeping their class engaged? Yeah, something pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And we'll also see that Notebook has given you some answers. So whichever way you do it, you will have some answers. That's all I was trying to say here. And I kind of like these. Did my own. Okay, Jackie, great. Did you get answers that made sense to you? And you see, I just asked a completely different question. And yeah, it gave me answers. Ooh, live prompting cook-off. What's a cook-off? Okay, I like that. You've got 3 minutes to do your own and generate an output. Share your prompts in the chat, and let's find out which ones gave us better results. 3 minutes on the clock. It's 10:26. Let's do it by 10:30. Wow. Asking how to manage diverse climate stakeholders to create cohesion. Very nice. And is the output relevant? Anyone else doing your own prompts? Drop them in the chat or a summary of them, and let's know what the answers are like. Are they good, bad, awful? I like it. Jackie's planning to sit them all at roundtables to build consensus. That's great. Are you talking about, Jackie, are you talking about real life stakeholders or the imaginary ones we're talking to AI about? Oh, someone said if I changed from flashlight to flash, I'd have it. I don't know. I don't know. Gemini. No, not Gmail. Gemini. Flashlight to flash. Okay, Dimitri, I'm checking that out. Ooh, you're right. It's right there. The free version has it too. Congratulations. Thank you. That is helpful. So what Dimitri said on YouTube is instead of having flashlight, which is the default, select flash. And then if you click the plus, you actually see deep research down there. Fantastic. Wednesday afternoon in London. Good luck and congratulations. Thank you, Dimitri. That was extremely helpful. Awesome. Karina, I'm a creative workshop facilitator of candle making, and I joined forces with Emily that will teach the participants how to speak. How do I promote our event to the ideal customers? Oh, awesome. Did you get a good response for that, Karina? Jackie, I hope you'll be here next Monday, even if it doesn't go well, because we might as well get this done. And by the way, folks, you don't have to go through this 7 weeks, 1 week at a time, okay? There was a weekend intensive that I did a couple of weeks ago where we did courses 2 through 7 in one horribly long stretch, 2 days. So 3.5 hours each day. You can go watch that replay if you just want to get it done and go take the test and get your badge and, start showing it off. Okay, Karina, so you got good answers. All right. Okay, so the next step is we're going to do number 3. Again, I've got a canned prompt, focus on onboarding practices for hybrid teams. And this is the bit that I'm going to wait. It'll produce a research plan first. Read it before doing anything else. Click Edit Plan and then paste. All right. Maybe it should have been in deep research. Okay, go ahead and start a new chat. Deep research. No, I meant to have deep research. I'm very good at clicking buttons I don't intend to click, by the way. So those of you who are on the free plan, you can do this with Flash. Dimitri just pointed that out. Works beautifully. And once you get your answer back, if you're using my example, then you do Edit Plan and tell it, focus on onboarding, blah. Okay, here's the plan I've put together. And I'm clicking Edit Plan now. What changes do I want to make? So I clicked Edit the research plan and pasted that in. And here it is. Oh, you're very welcome, Dimitri. Glad to help. Okay. So again, here's the plan, focus all that. Expand it. All right, James, you can always watch the replay on, well, it's not the replay, it's the live stream, and it's going to stay there on YouTube. Okay. So this is the advanced plan, and specifically now that I've said hybrid teams, yeah, designed for hybrid work environment. So it's listening to what I said, perfect. And I'm going to say, yeah. We did the refine the plan, still in research mode, and then you click start research. This takes a few minutes. Go ahead, get your coffee, take a bio break if you need it, or drop something in the chat. Tell me how this is going. Is this helpful? If there's anything you're getting stuck on, please ask. because, like I said, I'm not in a rush today. Let's take it easy and get everyone working. All right, Brian, have a great afternoon, evening, whatever it is, time of the day. If anyone here is from Vancouver, I really appreciate you waking up at 7 a.m. Speaking of Vancouver and speaking of the rest of the world, Vancouver is 7 a.m. India started at 7:30 p.m. Does anyone object if I move this like half an hour later or an hour later so that more people have a chance to participate? Because I know 7 a.m. is kind of tough for people. But if you prefer 7 a.m., then Vancouver, you get first dibs. Vancouver, LA, Seattle, like anyone from the West Coast, you get first dibs. And I just said Vancouver because I'd seen someone here from Vancouver. I think there was also someone from San Francisco. Half an hour, yeah. Okay. And Abhijit, where are you? Are you in India or on the west coast of the US, Canada? And for someone in the chat who had asked London. Okay, so half an hour there is fine too. Great. Someone had asked in the chat. Are the sources verifiable? That was Amrit. So there you go. You can click on any of those citations and figure out if that's true or not, real or not. Things have changed in Ontario. Cool. By the way, how does everyone feel about the return to office mandates? Oops. That's fair, Jackie. That is actually very fair because I did set up the whole thing with a specific time slot. And if you've worked around it, then I'm not going to change it. Thank you for bringing me back to earth. And thank you, Kritarth, for sharing that YouTube link. Really appreciate it. What I was asking was, we've all had, I don't know about the rest of the world. I know US and Canada, we've got a massive return to office mandate from pretty much everybody around. There's two things that are happening here in Toronto specifically. A lot of employees are basically digging in their heels and saying, no, I'm not going to. I'm not coming back to work, 5 days a week. I'll come in 2 days a week, but heck no, I'm not doing 5 days a week. Is that happening in your offices, or are you all actually back in the office? For those of you who work at an office where somebody else tells you what to do, of course. If you're your own boss, you do what you want. This is why I like being my own boss. Still hybrid? That's fantastic. Yeah, Oakland is. Well, I'm surprised. I thought the tech companies wouldn't have as much, but yeah, the tech companies were some of the first to demand back to office. 3 days in the office is still largely the norm in London. Good. I'm happy that they're giving people that little bit of flexibility. Toronto, I think what happened was our premier of Ontario, said everybody should go back to the office. We all think that it's because he has developer friends whose offices are sitting empty. It is, but it's been backfiring. Ooh, so now the bosses are feeding people 5 days a week. I think that's hilarious. Being kind to your employees should have been a first option, not something to keep them there after they're refusing to go into work. Yeah, love it. Okay, so I'm going to take a look and see what's going on. I think it's still going. Nice. And now just let me check what's happening here. I never did go with the Notebook LM. Flipped Classroom. No, this is not Notebook LM. This was my other version. Never mind. And where did it go? There we are. There's the Notebook LM. No, this one didn't give me a plan at all. Okay. So it's slightly different if you do it in NotebookLM. It doesn't give you the citations as much as I see. So yeah, if you can get hold of deep research, either by going into Flash or by getting your freebie free trial, that's useful. And mine has finally finished. It looks like, whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah. So if you click the X and you want it back, you can just click the button then. Build on top of this. You can get an audio overview, web app, or timeline. Great. Oh, good. Gives you the citations if you load the sources. Yep. That makes sense. Okay, this is the problem with deep research. I don't have the patience to read it all. Anyone else? Are you finding anything useful in your deep research outcome? Whoa, virtual harassment. Yes, this has actually been happening for ages. Yeah. Anyone? Are you guys done with your deep research? So we're supposed to scroll through the full research, full report, notice the inline citations. There were inline citations. Yes, there are. And for them, we can actually click spot check at least 2 of them. So there you go, verify your sources. Gallup.com. I like Gallup. Hybrid work, okay, they've got a big giant thing there. Jackie, you blow me away. If you're writing 21 books, wow. Well, you're writing the 21st. You've already done 20 previous books. How did you do the research for the other 20 before Gemini and deep research was a thing? What's Gemini's equivalent, by the way, for Fable 5? Have they come out with one? I haven't even looked. I've been playing in ChatGPT and Claude recently. Everyone else, are you done? Bamboo HR, how's that? Okay. Second thoughts about the new role. That's interesting. 30-year scientific research program. Wow. All manual and all from my global practice across 193 nations. Jackie, we should talk at some point. Prague is fully back to office, says Dimitri. Oh no. I am sorry to hear that. What happens if nobody wants to go back to the office? Is that even an option? They get a new job. Yeah, I guess that's it. They either quit or they get laid off, don't they? That's life. Yeah, and that's power of employers. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next part. Were you able to finish the lab, everyone? Drop a 1 in the chat if you were done. 2 if you did not get results or if you're still going on with the research. Okay, a couple of 1s there. Melissa, I don't know for sure. Anyone in using Gemini Deep Research enough to tell whether it's hallucinating? Like, I'm not thinking it's hallucinating. The responses I got, the ones that I spot checked, were fine. I think the best way to find out is to actually use the different tools and figure out which one's the most reliable for you. And whatever an AI tells you, please verify, especially if you're doing your PhD. You do not want your instructors to come back and say, nope, that was some complete garbage. Use meta prompts. Oh, that is so cool, Sean. You had it hallucinate and it produced a book, provided a book that did not exist. Was that recent? Because I have been seeing, I don't know, again, disclaimer, I don't use Gemini as much, but Claude has been getting much better in terms of not coming up with fake things. And I think ChatGPT too. So don't know. Okay, Dimitri says not really. You need to have valid reasons for it, but basically the main reason why people will push back to start coming is to increase collaboration and productivity. I don't know. I thought productivity was actually better when people were working at home. It was for me. I don't know about anybody else, but okay. I hope the Prague employers are happy. Okay, so the final step of the lab is we're going to do, and okay, Sean says it happened 2 to 3 weeks ago. I looked everywhere for a book, then asked Gemini if the book is real and it can't find it. Oh boy, that's funny. What do we do? We can't even complain to the manager, right? I can't become a Karen and go, hey, your AI is lying to me. It's making up stuff. Anyway, step 5 is we're going to go create an infographic. And again, for that, I'm going to go back into the labs and I'm going to copy. You don't have to copy anything. You just click create and create infographic. Okay. You should all be able to do that. Right there is the big giant create button. Create, and you can do other things. I mean, obviously, not just an infographic. Flashcards, audio overview can be very helpful. And I will actually do this when I'm doing research because I want to hear, I don't have the patience to read that wall of text that I just got in the report. So I would actually do the audio overview. Or you can describe your own app. Neat. But right now, I'm just going to click infographic because that's what our homework says. But, click any of the others, click all of the others while you're preparing for the certification. And it's sitting there. I'm going to do that. And that will give us another few minutes to chat. So questions, if you're getting stuck anywhere, tell me. Are you all following along with this? Can you get the link to the lab notes? It's in the Google Drive. So if you go back into the Google Drive and then go into the chapter for this, it's course 3, and in there is the lab prompts. You don't have the create infographic option. Are you in deep research, Amrit? It only shows up in the deep research thing in Gemini, not in NotebookLM. Actually, before I say that, let's find out if it shows up in NotebookLM. It may just be hiding in a different spot. Yeah, it's here in NotebookLM too. There's an infographic option on the bottom right. No, not on the bottom right, in the right panel on the list of options. You don't deep research a document, you deep research a topic, Vignesh. You can analyze a document because that's only looking at the content of that document. Deep research is going out into the web. So I'm going to make this one do an infographic as well. Yeah, go ahead. Auto select. Standard. I don't care. Just generate. So NotebookLM can do an infographic as well. All right. Give us a bunch of charts, diagrams, whatever. the journey, the application, shift to agentic AI. Okay, lots of stuff there to consume, to digest rather, not so much to consume. And again, for those who are dropping the Google Drive link in the chat, thank you so much, because otherwise I have to go find it again. I'm not good at multitasking that way. Okay, everyone got your infographic now? Drop a 1 in the chat if you haven't got it, actually. I'm just trying to see if anyone's paying attention. You're still working on it. Jackie, you're still working on it? Okay. Thanks for that, Kritarth. Or no, that was April talking to Kritarth. Yes, thank you. Google Drive link, thank you. Oh yeah, that was in the notes as well, wasn't it? Somewhere there. Okay, so if we're ready to go forward, drop a 1 in the chat. Okay, a couple of people dropped a 1. I'm going to assume this is fine. Okay, now what do we do with that infographic? You can use it to communicate with your team. You can present it in a meeting, give it to a manager, put it in a proposal, like whatever you want. It is unfortunately not, it says, not a replacement for reading the full document. See, this is where I would fail. I hate reading full documents. I love reading. I am a bookworm, but not documents. And yes, it gives you a whole bunch of ideas where you can, whom you can share this with. So basically, this is what it did. You had a hunch, you did some research, you got something shareable from it. Yay. And of course, you've got things in your own job that have something like this you've been meaning to do. You haven't had the time to really go deep into the research. Infographic is nicer on NotebookLM. That's interesting. Now I'm curious. What was mine? No, no, there we go. Oh, I guess I didn't click. I thought I did. Or did it generate it? It did. You're right, Melissa. Thank you. Notebook's infographic is way nicer. And it's a single page, which I love. Whoops. Yeah, that's exciting. Thank you for that heads up. Ex-Google officer, you only have 3 years left before it hits. Before what hits? 2 interesting reviews on the AI topic from the CEO diaries. Okay. Is that the Diary of a CEO by Stephen Bartlett? In which case, I should go figure that out. Okay. All right, this was helpful. Thank you, Melissa, for telling me that Notebook's outcome is nicer. I'm going to leave that as an exercise for all of you to figure out how to get the deep research from the main thing into NotebookLM if you want, because that's another way to do this, right? So you get the deep research that Gemini itself does, which is supposedly more intensive, more detailed, and then bring that into NotebookLM. So in fact, that's the next step. We're going to turn a pile of documents into quick answers. So what we are going to do is then put it into NotebookLM and tell NotebookLM to focus only on these things that you're on this document set that you're uploading or pointing it at. And then go answer questions based only on that, which is really nice. So then you can use NotebookLM to do your 1-page written summary kind of thing I need. The audio podcast style overview, which again, I said, this is the way I prefer to listen to it, or even a video narrative summary. Plus you can get a mind map. So if you're ready for that, reusing our real documents. Okay, we have the same 4 bright line onboarding documents, and instead of asking one-off questions, we're going to use NotebookLM to synthesize them, right? So the same 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 docs. So again, create a new notebook, upload the 4 PDFs, okay? So I'm going to say, where's that? Upload, add sources. And I'm going to get it from Google Drive. Shared with me. Hope it's the right one. Yes, course 3. Sample docs. Can everyone get to this? Again, you'll need to go into the Google Drive for that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Grabbed all 4. Apparently just clicking it, it doesn't look like they're selected, but they are. And you hit insert. So these are the 4 you see on the bottom left. It's thinking as it's adding each of those 4 in there. So now we can just tell it to summarize the key learnings in one page. Let's do that. Summarize the key learnings in one page. And you can do this, that exact sentence actually could go in for any research, right? So grab your research, whatever it is, you know, if it was Jackie's, I forget what it was, the stakeholder alignment thing, drop that in, Jackie. And whoever else had that marketing question, throw that in. Basically, use the tools for your real work. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't just do simple. Yeah, okay, I'm going to have to watch those interviews, Dimitri. You only have 3 years left before it hits, and AI whistleblower, we are being gaslit by AI companies. Oh, I'm definitely going to watch those two. Thank you. Those sound great. And in fact, let's see if I can copy. Can I copy from YouTube? Of course not. I'm going to copy that, put them here, 2 books, and they're both in Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO, Diaries of a CEO, whatever, his YouTube channel. Go watch it. Those sound really interesting. Okay, so where is everyone at? Google Drive's file is the easiest way is literally go to add sources, Melissa. On the left top, add sources, and there's actually an option right there in the middle. It says Drive. Just click on that. And then in my case, I had to go find the things that were shared with me, which is this Google Drive for the 7-week course. Go to course 3, go to sample docs, and then click on each of these and add them. It's that simple. Okay, I'm hoping nobody's stuck. We're going to look at the inline citations, click on a few of them, make sure that it's actually getting you what you need. Get your 1-page summary. Where did I type that? I thought I'd typed it in. I had not. Oh, I typed it in, I just never put it in there. Okay, that's smart. Hitting enter, folks, is extremely useful. Otherwise, the AI has no way to give you what you want. And I just realized when I said I was going slow, I didn't mean to go quite this slow. We're still on lab 1, and I think there's, at least 3 labs here. I forget if it's 3 or 4. But here's my one pager, yay. Looks good. And again, like it said, click on some of the citations, make sure it's giving you actual real citations, not hallucinating. It's 3. Thank you, Jackie. That helps. Yes, it would really help, if I knew what I was talking about. Okay. Lot 2, step 2. All right, Jackie, see you next week. Ask the synthesis question. How to pronounce synthesis? Always get it right. So now you ask, questions based on the output you got. In this case, the example we're giving is, what does a new hire need to complete in their first 2 weeks? Which team or contact owns each item? Or if you're a project manager coming new to us, if you are a project manager coming new to a project, you need to find out who are the main stakeholders. What kind of budget do we have? What kind of timelines are we looking at? Do we already have a requirements doc? All of those things. So again, tweak this so that it fits in your job, right? This is the question that I'm asking simply because this is the question that we had canned. But definitely ask your own questions here. And again, Maya, put it in there. And remember to hit enter. This is very US centric. It's decided that people need to complete I-9 and W-4 forms. Wait, or actually that's Canadian. Never mind. It should give you answers based on whatever's required for your country. And again, you see it's giving me citations every step of the way where it goes. Complete HubSpot certification for a marketing agency. That's a very good thing to do. Has NotebookLM given you any answers that were surprising to you? And the next step, when you're ready, just go to generate, and then you can generate an audio overview, video overview, mind map. Remember, we can do all of these in deep research as well. No, you can't. You can do them in Notebook. So audio, video, and mind map. Now, what was that for? It's this one. Now I have to go back to the slide, and I don't even know which slide I was on. There we go. Generate the additional formats. And to do that, literally just click on each of these, and it will generate all of them. Do you want a deep dive? Do you want... Right now, I just clicked audio overview. I can do a deep dive, which is what I will need to do. ELI 5. I'm new to this job and need to understand how to onboard new hires efficiently. But you can also have options. You just want a brief summary, you want a critique, you want a debate. Debate is really interesting because that then becomes like a podcast, 2 people talking back and forth. Deep dive also is 2 people talking back and forth. And I click generate, and it keeps going. So again, ask it the questions that you want, and hopefully it generates something useful. Same thing for a video overview. What do I want? I want a cinematic video? No, I want an explainer video. And give me... No, I don't want any of those. I want a classic one. Onboarding roadmap is what I want. And you notice I'm doing these side by side because I don't have patience to wait for one to finish. And the third one was the mind map, which again, it's just right here at the top right. Mind map, create a mind map. Must be restricted to a single source if you want. These are just some suggestions. And here it's showing the topics. You can give it prompts. Showing how they all relate. So 1, 2, 3, those are all running in the background. Is everyone able to do this exercise? I'm just going to sit here quietly. If nobody's responding, that's okay. I'm assuming that means you're all working hard at it. Okay, the mind map was the quickest, right? And look at that. You can expand it. Do you know how badly I wanted a mind map tool for years now? And you had to pay for them. They were expensive. Now you can just ask your chat. Yeah, it's all generating. You're right. Audio and video are all still generating for me too. But it's all there. You can grab that mind map, share it out. It's great. And you can go deeper, deeper. Oh, double clicking makes it get bigger and bigger. And I'm on a Mac. I can just use my pinch action and bring it all back into view. Nice. Audio and video are still generating for me as well. Do you guys want to move forward, leave this there, and you can check it later, or do you want to hold on and wait till this is done? Yeah, we can check later, says Melissa. Anyone else prefer to move on? Right, there's no point waiting, is there? Okay. In that case, we are going to move on to lab 3, which is you're basically going to set up a gem, which is, like I said, a similar thing like custom GPTs and ChatGPT. And it is a version of Gemini where you're telling Gemini the kind of role it needs to play. And once you do that, you can reuse it over and over without having to give it that default basic context over and over. So you're going to give it a persona, an area of expertise, and some basic instructions. Then you reuse it. Pushback is the point, right? You want it to stress test your plan from perspectives you don't naturally have. And that's actually something that happens if anytime you come up with an idea, you're going to have blind spots simply because you're excited. So it's good to use a gem as a pushback point. You can also use, this is a really useful one, the build trick, where you ask Gemini to describe what a great expert in that domain looks like. Then you use that description that it gave you to put into the gem as the gem's instructions. So basically, you're using Gemini to create its own persona. And once your gem is created, you can share it to your team if you're on a team plan, or you can just give people the link and they can do it. So instead of everyone starting from scratch and getting, the thing with LLMs is that you will get different answers each time you ask the same question. And you might even get different answers completely. So using a gem means at least your answers are all coming back from the same viewpoint of that one expert. So, if you asked a question to Steve Jobs versus Jeff Bezos versus Elon Musk versus someone else, you'd get different answers depending on that person's perspective. That's what gems do, is you focus it on one perspective. So lab 3, we're going to build this as a gem. You're confident in your onboarding plan now, but confident isn't the same as validated. So now you want a seasoned outside expert to take a look at your plan and challenge it. someone who thinks about employee experience and design for a living and won't just tell you what you want to hear. So again, let's explore the persona first. Start another new Gemini chat. And you can see it on my screen, right? The tabs are exploding again. I'm not very good at cleaning up, but I'm going to go back to Gemini, start a new chat, and just go. It doesn't say I have to do any of that. Oh, look at that. The audio and video are still going. Yeah, copy Gemini's full response that we'll paste directly into it in the next step. Okay. But first, we're just going to ask it this question. What are the key characteristics of a highly competent employee experience consultant? You can literally also say, what are the key characteristics of Steve Jobs in terms of thinking of new ideas, of Elon Musk in terms of designing something like Grok or SpaceX or whatever. And then use that. Or you can literally tell the Gemini, your role is you are a Elon Musk type of business owner. And I want you to review it with that same skeptical lens. So again, all we're doing is we're asking for the key characteristics of the persona you want, and you will copy that and put it into the gem in the next step. Everyone with me so far? And I'm going to put these in the chats again, because we're going to copy from this. This is, again, you're going to go to menu and get a new gem. So create a new gem, then paste in. And again, the things that are in the square brackets, you need to copy from the other chat and put that into Gemini, into the gem. And it is way too long. Okay. Let me see how to make this from step 1. I'm dropping this into YouTube as 2 separate prompts simply because it's too long. Actually 3 because it's still too long. So put all of that into a single prompt and paste in again where the square prompts is. Replace that with your responses from the previous chat. So I'm going to copy just this first bit. You're a highly competent employee. Wait, no, where's... Right, I was going to create a gem, wasn't I? Menu gems, okay. Gemini. In the menu, open the sidebar. And gems, it's in the settings. Gems. And you're going to do a new gem and you're going to call it your onboarding advisor or whatever it is. If you're a travel agent, you're a travel planning advisor, whatever you are. New gem. I'm still sticking with the course. Hey, wait a second. It was supposed to ask me for something. It didn't. All right. Did not ask me for a name. Not sure why not. But I'm going to paste in, you are the highly competent blah. And your key characteristics include, which basically I'm going to copy from there. Copy from the other chat. And get rid of questions like, things that it's asking you, it's trying to continue the conversation. That's one thing LLMs are trained to do. Just like social media is trained to keep you addicted and keeping on scrolling, LLMs are intended to keep you talking. So they will always end with a question. It's very rare that they don't, and usually you have to tell it not to. Okay, anyway, so I pasted that in, and now I'm doing the second half of the prompt, which is I'm the person leading a revamped new hire program, a revamped thing. You have that already in your pasted chat. Okay. Do I really want to do that? No, I don't. I just wanted to create. I'm not accepting Opal. If you guys want to accept Opal, that's on you. I didn't have time to read it carefully, so I'm not accepting it. It's a new kind of app. Okay. This one is creating my app. It's calling it an app. It's a gem. It's a custom GPT. It's the equivalent of all that. The gem, Dimitri, you asked where to find the gem. Okay, you found it. Great. It's under the settings, under the gears, all of that. Think, think, think. Make sure my plan is sound, candid, informative, stay in character throughout the conversation. So basically what you're doing here is you're building an app that you can use and that someone else can use to review any ideas you have, any questions you have about that onboarding process or whatever gem you built. If you just built the world's best travel agent, that's going to be great because now you can literally ask it, okay, I'm planning a trip to this place. What are my options? These are my restrictions. I'm going with a group. It's for a destination wedding. Like you can ask the most detailed questions if you've built the right persona for it. And this, by the way, is a lot slower, I'm going to say, than the ChatGPT version. The question is it or is it not as good when it comes to answering questions? I don't care if it takes time to build, but when it takes time to answer questions, that's when I would get angry. If you guys have questions, drop them in the chat, always. We have 15 minutes left. Do you think we'll finish on time? We should, because we're pretty much almost done. Put it to work. And that's it. We just need to finish this lab and we're done. By the way, are you guys seeing a big black square in the middle of your screen? If you are, let me know. That's just my chat window hanging over everything else. It's thinking. Tell me in the chat, drop a 1 if you'd like me to be quiet while you're working. I tend to get uncomfortable with silence, so I keep talking. Either that or I really like hearing my own voice. Could be either. meantime, I'm going to check and see what happened to the... Oh, yay. My video and audio are both ready now. I could play them. You guys can play them too. I won't play that here though, because that just, it's unnecessary. You've all got your own version of the same thing. I like this little disclaimer at the bottom. This gem is powered by Google Labs, not by Gemini apps. And then it can make mistakes, so double check it. So is Gemini throwing shade on Google Labs? That's very interesting. Hurry up. Okay, folks, I won't object if anybody decides they're done waiting and wants to leave. I'm going to let it sit there in the background and churn away. Once it's ready, you can ask it simple questions. What are the 3 biggest risks? How many weeks does it take? If you did a travel agency thing, what's the best time to book tickets? What's the best time to do XYZ? Like whatever it takes. So that's pretty much it. And it should feel like an expert talking. And if you want, actually, when you're practicing after the course, make a gem that literally says, "You are Steve Jobs, here's my business idea," and have it critique your business idea for you, or have it critique your onboarding plan, or whatever it is that you want. Doesn't have to be Steve Jobs, the expert in your field, whoever that is, put that in there. Maybe you're a climate change activist. In that case, you want Greta Thunberg, however her name is pronounced, as the expert, and you want to ask about how, you're planning a weekend trip somewhere. How badly is this going to affect my carbon footprint? Yes, I have weird ideas. And again, the answers you get should sound like that specific expert. Like Dimitri suggested, or he didn't suggest, but he gave me the idea, have it be Stephen Bartlett. And, ask him questions. Ask Napoleon Hill questions if you want to do the Think and Be Rich, or any of the people that he did. If you think about it, actually, Napoleon Hill back in the day was basically creating the equivalent of this, right? He talked to experts. He then imagined what former, no longer alive experts would say when he asked them various questions. I think that's really impressive. Okay, is anyone getting stuck? Or are you all just having great fun with your gems? My gem is still not done. I'm sick of waiting for it. So that's basically it. And the wrap up is simply do your homework, guys. Ask it some questions, build a couple more gems, and see how consistent it stays every time it gives you an answer. Like you can come back to it 2 days later and ask it another question, and it should still be able to, it should always stay in that persona. In fact, the prompt also tells you, what other experts would be genuinely useful. Maybe a skeptical CFO who stress tests your budget request, a legal reviewer who flags compliance risks, a customer advocate who challenges internal assumptions. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. We're almost at the 90-minute mark. My app, my gem is still building. This is very frustrating. But, you know, give it the time. You can't speed it up. It's going to take as long as it takes. Go back and go into that NotebookLM that you created. Look at your audio, your video, your mind map. Make sure it's actually telling the truth based on those 4 documents we uploaded. And that's basically it. And between now and next week, please watch the official Google training for Lab 5, Course 5. I forget what that one is. Writing and Communication, I think. Yeah. No, not 5, 4. We're only lesson 3 today. That was fun. So if you go here, I've already put, no, I haven't. I will put today course 4 in here, and then you can watch that. In fact, I can probably do it right now. AI for Writing and Communication, that's the one. And why won't it let me? It must be pointing at the wrong space. Oh, it won't because I'm in the wrong place. That's why. 1. Sheesh. Okay. Make sure you're in the right Google Drive. That would be why it didn't allow me to import. Okay, now it's uploading. So I want to upload this. Course for AI for Writing and Communication. Okay, go to that. So there you go. There's the docs there. Sample docs. And if you want to watch the course in advance, you go to that last thing in the attendee handout. Learn how to become AI fluent. And go to number 4 is getting communications just right, which is video number 5 on that. There you go. Okay, that was a lot. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you for sticking around. Do your homework, and I will see you next Monday, same time. And if you missed any of this, go back to the YouTube channel and watch. Hope you have a great day. And folks on YouTube, hope that was helpful for you too. Dimitri and whoever else is watching, finish the course, finish the labs, go ask your questions, come back and, you know, do the work again at least 1 or 2 times, because that's what gives you the confidence to write that exam. Not exam, it's the quizzes at the end of each course. And everyone on the chat who's saying thank you, you're very welcome. Thank you all for showing up. And thank you for being here and staying to the end. See you next week. Bye.